on? What's your emergency?
Oh, yeah, hi there. I'm just calling because I was hoping to get a welfare check.
Oh, yeah? Who are you looking to check up on there?
Yeah, you know that Cindy girl down by the car dealership?
Yeah, for sure. Everyone knows Cindy.
Yeah. I haven't seen her in a couple weeks, So I was hoping you could go on down there and take a look and, see if she's doing all right.
For sure, yeah. We'll swing by. We'll check it out.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you betcha.
It was the year 1978, in the small town of Riverfall Harbour. Everyone knew everyone, and life was simple. But that all changed when a young woman went missing. She was known throughout the town for her kindness and helpfulness. Always pointing people in the right direction, she had become somewhat of a local celebrity. Her disappearance left the community in shock, and the police department was baffled. It seemed as though she had simply been plucked out of thin air. There were no signs of struggle, no clues left behind, nothing to suggest what had happened to her. The police did countless interviews with friends, family, and anyone who may have seen something, but nothing turned up. The disappearance of the young woman became the talk of the town. People couldn't understand how someone so loved and well-known could vanish without a trace. The entire community was on edge, and rumors began to swirl about what might have happened to her. In their pursuit of the truth, the police interrogated 3 people who were believed to have information about the missing woman. The first was a local shopkeeper who had seen her on the day she vanished. Upon further questioning, the shopkeeper provided a detailed alibi. He claimed that on the day in question, he had been at a local farmer's market, selling his homemade jam. He even offered the police some of his delicious jam as proof of his whereabouts. The police tried the jam and found it to be both delicious and convincing, clearing the shopkeeper of any involvement in the case. The second interrogation was with a man who claimed to have seen the missing woman walking towards the local car dealership on the day of her disappearance. However, as the police investigated the lead, they discovered that the suspect was actually a member of a secret society of LARPers, live-action role players. The suspect explained that on the day of the woman's disappearance, he was in the middle of an intense LARPing game where he was tasked with delivering a message to the king of the realm who was hiding in the local car dealership. He did, in fact, see the missing woman walking towards the dealership, but when he arrived at the dealership, he found only his fellow LARPers and no sign of the woman. The police were skeptical of this alibi, but after investigating the suspect's claims, they discovered that he was indeed part of a LARPing group that had been actively playing in the area on the day in question. Furthermore, the suspect's fellow LARPers corroborated his story. The third interrogation was with a man who had been seen arguing with the missing woman just a few days before her disappearance. However, upon further questioning, it was discovered that the argument had actually been over a disagreement about which type of cheese was the best. The man claimed that he was a passionate cheese connoisseur and had simply been trying to educate the young woman on the finer points of cheese. The police were skeptical at first, but when they tasted some of the cheese he brought in as evidence, they were convinced of his innocence and cleared him of any involvement in the case. The police department began to grow frustrated and increasingly desperate. The disappearance of the young woman was the talk of the town, and the pressure to solve the case and bring closure to the community was mounting. The breakthrough in the case came when a police officer on patrol spotted a man near a party store, stuffing what appeared to be the body of the missing woman into a large bag. The police quickly descended on the scene, ready to finally bring the perpetrator to justice. But as they approached the man, they quickly realized that something was off. The body in the bag was not that of a real woman, but rather another inflatable balloon display. The police were left scratching their heads, wondering how such a bizarre turn of events could have occurred. It was then that they realized that the missing woman had never actually existed. She had been an inflatable balloon display all along, meant to advertise the local car dealership. And when the dealership was shut down due to its connection to the crystal meth lab, the display balloon was taken down as well. But the mystery was not yet fully solved. The police department continued their investigation and eventually circled back to the car dealership. As they searched through the now abandoned building, they made a startling discovery. Hidden under the front desk was the deflated body of the missing woman. It was a strange and surreal moment for everyone involved. The police had spent months searching for a woman who had never actually existed, only to find her deflated body tucked away in a dark corner of the meth lab disguised as a car dealership. The investigation ultimately revealed that the car dealership had been operating as a crystal meth lab for some time, using the inflatable display balloons as a cover. The missing woman was just another piece of the elaborate ruse, meant to distract from the true nature of the operation. In the end, the case of the missing woman was not the true crime story that it had initially seemed to be. Rather, It was a strange and twisted tale of deception, drugs, and the power of advertising. The small town of Riverfall Harbour would never forget the bizarre and unsettling series of events that had unfolded in their midst, and the strange case of the missing inflatable balloon woman would go down in history as one of the most surreal true crime stories of all time. If you enjoyed today's authentic, absolutely true, 100% real, definitely not AI-generated true crime story, please feel free to like, subscribe and leave a comment.